Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So this is my complete PHP playlist where you can find all PHP related videos. So you can bookmark this playlist for your future reference. I am uploading all PHP videos in this playlist. So in the last video we understood how to connect with the database using PHP and how to create database using XAMPP. So in this video we will see how to store the user data into the database. First of all we have to create the table into the database, and after that we will save the student data into this table. So if you remember, we created a student registration form in our lecture 21. So we will be using the same form, and we will submit the data using that form and save that data into the database. So let me show the form first, how it looks. Pin phpMyAdmin as well. Let me open it, and in another tab let me open the form as well. HTTP localhost, then student management, student registration.php. Let me check file name is correct. XAMPP is running. Let me check the file name, student form.php. So you can see that this is the form for student registration, where there are details like name, email, phone number, age, gender, and course. If I enter some details, and course is HTML. So you can see that it is giving invalid phone because phone number is not correct. It is greater than 10 digit. So let me give a valid phone number. So you can see that now we are just printing the data after submitting the form, but we have to save this data into the database as well. So we will do this in this video. First of all, let me create a table to store the student data. So we will use this student DB that we created in the last video. If I click on this DB, it will create this interface, and we can create a table by clicking here. So you have to give a table name, like we will give student info. So number of columns, like number of fields in the form. If you see, there is name, email, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 fields. So we'll create 6 columns. So here you have to give the column details, like first column will be the name, and name is of type string, so we'll use varchar. Like varchar, we can give a length of the name 100. And now second column is email. Email is also string, so we'll use varchar, and we will give some more length for email. And the third is age, like name, email, phone number, and age. So we will keep the sequence as it is. Phone number, we will store this into varchar as well. So So we'll give 20. You can give any length. Then age will be an integer. So after that we have gender and course. So gender is basically string, so we'll give it as varchar of 10 for now. And course is also a string, so we will give it varchar as well, and with the length you can take 100 as of now. So let me add one more column there. So I add one more column which will be the ID, and it will be student ID. So we will basically primary key of the table, and it will be auto incremented. So let us create a table. So you can see that student info table has been created successfully. So now we will use this table to store the student information. So let us move to the code part. So we have already written the code to connect with database here. So I will copy this code. So there are 4 variables basically: server name, username, password, DB name, that are required to connect with database. And after that I am using MySQL connect to connect with the database. And if connection is not successful, I am just displaying this error. And if successful, we will insert the record basically into the database. So this is our save student.php file, where we are validating the data and displaying the data when user clicks on the submit button in the form. So here we are validating this data, you can see that. And after validation, if error comes, then we will show error, and if the data is valid, then we are printing this. So now what we will do is, instead of just printing, we will also save this data into the database. So if there are errors, we will display errors, and we are printing our data here. So we will write our inserting code in the else part. If there are no error, we will insert data into the database. If there are errors, then we will simply print errors. So let me paste this code to connect with the database. So this is our server name, localhost. I have already told about this in the previous video, that we need 4 parameters to connect. Now in this video we'll see how to insert that data. So let us prepare a SQL query to insert the data into the database. So you need, let me format it a bit, and then so we need a SQL query. Insert into student info. So we have to give table name here. So our table name was student info. Then we can give the name of the columns in which we want to insert. We will give name, email, phone, name, email, phone, gender, and there is age as well. age, gender, name, email, phone, age, gender, and course. Make sure column names are correct. Name, like there is a mistake in email spelling. Phone, age, gender, course, they should match the column name in your table. Name, email, phone, age, gender, and course. So we will insert these columns, and then we have to give values. So first parameter is name, so we will give name. Like we have already stored the name in our $name, age, email, phone, gender. So we'll give in these parameters $name, and second is email. We'll give email. It is also a string, so let me use single quotes around it. And then phone number. Phone number also we are storing as a string. $phone, and then age. You have to give in according to these columns. Like after home there is a age. Age is a number, so we can directly give without quotes. And then gender is also a string, so we'll use quotes. And $gender, and then at the end is course. So we haven't extracted the course till now, so we will extract it from the post. So let me extract it outside here, like $post of. Let me check what is the key we are using for course. So for course name is course. So I have extracted the course as well from the post. Now I will use this course here, $course. So I think all the 6 values are covered. Yes, all the 6 values are covered. This is the SQL query that we will be using to insert the values. So now to insert the reports, we have to use MySQLi query function. Like we will use a if statement. Like MySQL query will return false if it is uh, if there is an error while executing query, and it will basically return to query is executed successfully. So we'll run MySQL query inside the if condition. So MySQLi, then we have to pass here first the connection that we created here. So we have to pass this connection, and after that we have to pass the query. So if it is true, means after executing, if MySQL return true, let me add a semicolon there. It means the query execution is successful. So we will simply print the user details there. Let me cut it. Print the details, and we'll see details successfully saved. Control Z tab, and we will change the message here. Your details saved successfully. And if this function return false, it means there is some error. So we will simply inside else we will die and print error executing query. So if there is any error, then it will print this message. And at the end, we have to close the connection using MySQLi close. And we have to pass the connection object here. So these are the steps to insert the data into database. Like first we connected with the database using the similar approach as I discussed in the last video. Then after connection, we have to prepare SQL query to insert the database, to insert the data into database. And after that, we use MySQL query function to execute that query. We will have to pass the first parameter as a connection object which we created, and the second is the query. And if there is some error while insert executing the query using MySQL query, we will print error message. Else we will show the details to the user and display message that your details saved successfully. So at the end we have to close the connection. So I am using MySQL close to close the connection. So in this way you can insert the data into the database. Let us check whether it is working properly or not. If there are some errors, then we might have to make some changes. Let us check. So let me save it, and so if I use the same data and submit the form, it is saying, "Hi Ram, welcome to our website. Your details saved successfully." So it means saving is successful. Let us check in the table if there are entries or not. If I refresh, so you can see that the user details are saved with the Ram is name, email, phone, age, gender, course, and ID. Let us change some data in the form. For example, let me use Rajesh, and let me change phone number as well a bit. Rajesh is like 37, so male, and then course is also PHP. So welcome Rajesh to our website. Your details saved successfully, and we are displaying his details here as well. And now let us check whether they are stored in DB or not. So you can see that Rajesh details are also saved in the database. So in this way you can save the submitted form data into the database in PHP. So this is all from this video. If you find the video useful, then please subscribe the channel and like the video. Thank you.